Hello. I have been struggling to make things in part because of total overwhelm with things going on in the world that I feel helpless to change. And it's like, is what I create even worth it if I can't stop a man-made famine, if I can't stop all of the terrible things happening? And I know I have to remind myself that it is so much easier to destroy things, to break things down, than it is to build them. And any positivity that I can build is probably a good thing. So I thought I would just take you along on a little awe walk with me, where I'm just going to be basically on a treasure hunt for vastness. And maybe this will inspire you to go on your own awe walk, or maybe it will teach you how to do an awe walk. And if you are somewhere where maybe it's not safe to go outside, maybe the weather just isn't lined up like it has been for most of my week until today, then maybe you can get some awe just through watching this. If you're not familiar with awe, I did do a video previously talking about awe and some of the benefits of awe. But basically what we're looking for is vastness, and that our mind needs to kind of do some work to accommodate where it's not how we're used to perceiving the world. And we're just going to soak in some of the beauty. We may not feel awe with every single thing, but I'm going to try and be more open, taking that time to soak in things that normally we just walk right by. So we are looking for things that are vast in small nature, in large nature, in honestly just like comprehension. So to start off, normally for walks or exercises or meditations, it's recommended to kind of focus on your breathing first. So taking some breaths in and out for a count of 6. So just wherever you are, if you want, maybe take a few breaths with me. I'm going to just do a couple. So now that we've taken a few breaths and we can keep returning to our breaths, we're just going to try kind of grounding ourselves. So I'm going to pay attention to how my feet feel for a minute. I'm on these beautiful rocks, so great texture, and I'm just going to kind of try to feel connected to my body right now. Try to feel connected to my feet, to where I am. Wherever you are, maybe move your feet around a little bit, move your fingers around a little bit. Just be aware of your body and where you are in space right now. So if you are going on your own awe walk, from here, just start to pay attention to what is around where you are. Look for anything that calls out to you that might be a little interesting, that might be really detailed or big or really small. So I am currently just surrounded by all of these rocks, and I honestly absolutely adore rocks. I don't know very much about rocks, to be honest, but I just get so amazed by like just how different they all are. You know, we've got different colors, different sizes, and like just the way time and pressure has shaped all of these. And the way like some of them are really round, some of them are really round, some of them are really flat. Right now they feel really nice because they're in the shade. It's just like kind of incredible, like how all of these little buddies are in the same place, but they're so different. It's kind of cool. I love ones like this that have several colors. They all ended up here after like such different journeys, different amounts of time, different collisions into different things. Rocks are freaking cool. Oh, and I've got some moss here too. Look at how intricate things are. So beautiful, so teeny. Moss is like one of those textures that I just adore. I forget what this stuff is called. I am not a super knowledgeable person in regards to the names of things, but I can still appreciate them. We've got some beautiful bark here. Sometimes I think it's good just to like touch things. Oh, I love the feeling of bark like this, like just kind of pinching it. Just all the shapes. How like cool it is that trees are just like shaped by the environment. And how many things live because of trees, how trees can communicate through like their root system. Freaking fascinating. Another thing that I love doing is kind of just staying in one spot and just continuing to kind of observe the things that are around me. The sounds, the bird chirps, try and track down where things are coming from, even if I can't see them. There's just so much going on around us that's outside of all the cars, outside of all the crazy things going on that we're aware of. There's still just life just going on, moving with the wind, so much vastness to the sky. On a gray day, less so, but when the skies are like this, or at night when you can see the stars, it's like so crazy when I think of how vast the sky feels and how like complex a cloud really looks, how much shape there is within each cloud, how many little intricacies you can see. And as we look at the sky, sometimes we end up seeing things that we wouldn't otherwise notice. I was looking at the sky and I saw these pelicans that were just flying in a group together. And I've seen them like on the water, but I don't often see pelicans flying, and especially not in that way. So I thought that was really special and a really cool reminder just to sometimes take a little extra time to let your eyes wander and to see what little details we can see up in the sky. So as I went on in this walk, I continued to just look out for things that I see beauty in, that I find really interesting, and that visually I can kind of stop and take a little bit of time to appreciate the details in, appreciate how one of the same plant can look different from one of the next, how they can look similar. And I just want to make it clear that, like, I went on a little bit of a longer walk. You don't have to go for a super long walk. You could stop at just one freaking tree if you just want to just take time to soak that all in. Your awe walk can take as much time or as little time as you want to take. On this one, I kind of really needed it. So I went for like a few hours, I think, just kind of looking at things. You know, if you stop and look at a plant, sometimes you're looking at the leaves, but then you see a little bug or you see something else there that you may not have always noticed. And just these systems interacting with each other. It's really beautiful. And I know like the awe label can maybe be a little intimidating. For me, it's more about a reminder to focus than to try and smack the experience of awe onto everything. It's more that I am just trying to appreciate the different scales of things. I'm trying to appreciate how the world interacts. And for me, like if I have gone for a walk where I am really present and paying attention to the things around me, I will feel it like a I feel it like in my chest where it's just like I'm just overcome by the beauty in the world and the complexity, and my worries feel smaller. And I think it even helps me to be a little less overwhelmed by the state of some of these really big, terrible things. Like they still do weigh very heavily on me. But I feel like I'm a little more appreciative of the ways that our actions can impact others as well, in the way that even small things can add up to differences. These walks also help me to appreciate some of the complex systems and relationships that exist around us. And particularly, fungi remind me of these relationships a lot. Mushrooms are something that pretty much always stand out to me. I think they just look fascinating, but they also just are amazing. Fungi are amazing. And I read Merlin Sheldrake's Entangled Life, and that was something that really gave me a more broad appreciation for fungi. And I'm just going to read you this first paragraph from his introduction because I think it really does just drive home how freaking cool fungi are. So he says, fungi are everywhere, but they are easy to miss. They are inside you and around you. They sustain you and all that you depend on. As you read these words, fungi are changing the way that life happens, as they have done for more than 1 billion years. They are eating rock, making soil, digesting pollutants, nourishing and killing plants, surviving in space, inducing visions, producing food, making medicines, manipulating animal behavior, and influencing the composition of the Earth's atmosphere. Fungi provide a key to understanding the planet on which we live and the ways that we think, feel, and behave, yet they live their lives largely hidden from view, and more than 90% of their species remains undocumented. They're so stinking cool. So highly, highly recommend learning more about mushrooms if you don't already, because oh my gosh, so interesting. I also adore paying attention to animals, being on the lookout for them. I also think it's interesting just to keep an eye out for things that animals manipulate, things that animals change, the way that they construct things, the holes that they can sometimes create. I love seeing evidence of the work that they do. And while I'm observing animals, I like to just appreciate things that are beautiful. I love to just pay attention to how they're behaving, what they're doing, how they're interacting with their environment, and honestly, just appreciating these other living things sharing space with me in the setting that I'm in. And I love to see when they're interacting with each other, with other animals, and just making note of things that do impress me or surprise me. Teetering sound is this little guy. And another thing I was thinking while I was on this walk is how we often talk about nature as external from us. Like we are going out into nature, we are spending time in nature, but we are nature. Like we are, as humans, we are nature. We are not living a natural life, but we are still a part of the natural world. I love coming back to this idea in part because it changes how I think about my relationship to the world, as well as how I think about me and my own body. Like, I am an ecosystem. There are tons of tiny organisms that are dependent on my body to live and on your body to live. And we are also built up of all these relationships. And we are not really a single entity. We are made up by all of these other little entities. I think for me, being outdoors, it is easier to appreciate some of the relationships that occur with just living on the planet that we are on. But we have complex relationships reflected similarly in ourselves as well. Thanks for joining me on a little awe adventure. I know I am feeling a lot better after just taking some time to observe the world around me. There's so much around us that makes up our world, and it's pretty amazing when you stop to just take a minute. And it can feel weird at first, like stopping to pay attention to the small things, but I honestly think it's a great thing to implement on like any walk. Let me know what you get amazed by when you go for walks. Let me know what things in nature really inspire you and help you to feel better. Hopefully this will inspire you to also get out there if you can, and if not, seek pictures too, and seek information. I think it's so important for us just to shift our perspective sometimes and to take a little time to care for ourselves. So thanks for joining. Take care.